everyone, today we are back with another video, and this time we'll be sharing everything you need to know about visiting Chengdu Research Base of Giant Panda Breeding. It's such a mouthful. Anyway, we started our day by taking a TT with Nanmen as the location, which is the south gate for like the research base. But the TT couldn't get us all the way into the gate, so we do have to walk about a distance of like 1-ish km. But the weather was quite cooling, so it was quite a comfortable walk. And here's me enjoying my breakfast that you saw being prepared at the start of this video. It's like this egg pancake together with like a bunch of vegetables and mushrooms. It was really, really nice. So I highly recommend you to get it if she's still there. But anyway, like everything was panda theme in this area and it's so cute. Anyway, you will run into this Chengdu Giant Panda Museum, but just take note that it's closed for maintenance on Monday, which is when we visited. And this is where the south gate is. So we actually decided to go to the south gate because it was closer to enclosure number 6, which is where the famous internet panda Hua Hua is located. But they're closed on Monday, so it didn't matter, and there wasn't a long queue at the opening. And anyway, you do need your passports to enter, so please remember to bring that along. So here is the map of the place. They were really nice by showing some recommended routes that you can take to explore this place. This place is gigantic. Anyway, like there is a paid sightseeing bus service available. It costs 30 RMB per person, but it is free for kids below 1.3 meters as well as an accompanying adult. So if you're interested, you can just follow the signs and it will get you to the starting point of this sightseeing bus. But anyway, like the terrain here was quite flat. Okay, no, it can get pretty hilly at times, but still pretty comfortable to walk in this weather. And also if you do have like a huge bag and you know that you're gonna like exit from the same gate, you can actually deposit your bags for free at the visitor center as well. And anyway, we decided that we'll take a walk instead. So here is like one of the more canopy paths, I would say. And they even have signs describing the kind of birds that you might potentially see. But I'll be honest, I did not really see much birds. And anyway, I think the research space was very nicely structured. There were very clear signs telling you where the different enclosures are. So we very quickly got to one of the first ones. And they even have signs on like what the names of the panda you'll see and the characteristics. So that was kind of cute. So we think this is Chen Shang, but I may be horribly wrong just because of how like the sign said it was a glutton. And anyway, like this is the crowd on Monday. There are some tour groups, but I would say it's pretty decent compared to the other videos that I've seen on a non-Monday. And I think it has a very big part of this has to do with Hua Hua. And anyway, like so many cute pandas. Yeah, so we just explored everywhere on foot. And here's our tip. If you see this policeman with this sign, it probably means a panda is nearby. That's something we figured out. And look at it. So cute. And anyway, tickets to the research base are actually separated into both like the morning as well as the afternoon entrance. The timings I'll state in the description box as it differs depending on the month you visit. But it's recommended to go in the day as the pandas are generally more active and there are more feeding times, while in the afternoon most of them will just be asleep. Also, I would say it's quite easy to find toilets in this research base and they are so clean. And also they even have child strollers for you to explore the park, which is so good. And anyway, other than giant pandas, there's also red panda enclosures here, so it's so cute. And we saw this red panda just following this man around, and yeah, it's so hilarious and so cute. And yeah, there were so many of them, and they were generally quite active, but you would only be able to see them in the activity zones. And yeah, like in the enclosures itself, I don't see much of them. Yeah, so there's this nursery that we also visited, and we were half expecting to see like baby red pandas, but here's the spoiler, we didn't see any, but there are some like little rope ladder thing that they can climb on, and we mostly saw them sleeping. Yeah, but they were still really cute. Look at it on the tree. And yeah, then right opposite the nursery when we exited was another giant panda enclosure, and I think this was like a mother together with two of the kids, and they were just sharing bamboo, and look at the panda, she just kicked her. So adorable. So we just spent so much time standing there watching the pandas eat and munch, and I promise you this clip is worth it. Don't skip it. Yeah, so this panda had it was such a personality. He was just like eating with like one leg up the whole time, and now just going over the mother's head, grabbing bamboos. And look at what the mother does. Woohoo! Can you imagine? It's so hilarious you can't reach it. I love it. This clip gets me every time. Okay. So anyway, more exploring. There's so much walking in this park, but the pandas are so worth it. And most of the clips just ended up being pandas eating and eating and eating. And anyway, pandas here are so smart. So like they actually do a panda rotation so that they don't get fatigued from the visiting. And here's the trainers just luring them back in with a bell, and they just walk right back on their own accord. So smart. And anyway, like here is the trainers trying to lure out the second batch of panda. This panda just refused to come out, and she was just throwing food at it, and it took like so long, like maybe 5 minutes before the panda was willing to step out. Yeah, so there they are at the end of their week. So funny but so cute. Everybody was just waiting. So yeah, that was really funny. Look at them. I just want to hug them. So we carry on with our journey, and honestly, there was no shortage of pandas, and there were so many enclosures that you can just see them. But I would say that we just be warned that pandas like cooler climates. So if you are here during the summer months, I don't think you can expect them to be as active outside. And at the end of the day, they were like quite freely roaming around because the weather was really cooling. Yeah. And anyway, we saw this, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I never knew it was real. It's a real panda on a tree. Like they climb trees. It's not just like an image. It's not AI. Look at it. It's so cute. So we actually stood there for a really long time after this because I really wanted to see the panda come down, but it didn't. So here's two cuter pandas. And look at the ring of human shadows surrounding the panda, and that's the situation on a Monday. So I imagine it be a lot worse on a non-Monday. So anyway, we saw barricades outside enclosure number 6, which is where Hua Hua is located, and that shows the how insane the lines can be. So be prepared to wait up to like 2 to 3 hours to see Hua Hua, and you only get 3 minutes in the enclosure, like in Hua Hua's enclosure. So I'll let you decide for yourself whether it's worth it. So anyway, we are en route, walking towards the west gate, and in the west gate there are plenty of other pavilions, but these pavilions primarily it's only open in summer seasons, and it's fully air conditioned only for the pandas though, so not the humans, just the pandas, because they function better in cooler climates. And yeah, so in the summer months you'll likely see them in these enclosures instead of outside. But since you are here in March, which is still like winter-ish, it's actually not open. So this is what the west gate looks like. So maybe in the winter months it's better to enter from the south gate as it's more happening. So there are some tourist buses that takes you to other tourist destinations. like Dujiangyan and stuff like that, or like even back to like the Chunxi route in Chengdu city itself. So if you're interested, like you can always look out for these buses that you can just board and pay on the spot. So yeah, that's all for our video, and I hope you find it helpful, and see you in the next one.